Hey, this is the Zoo Man again, and woo, I just popped some peppermint gum and it's really refreshing. Anyway, I want to talk to you today. I just tried to phone into the Hannity radio show, and I called in twice, and believe it or not, I got through 2 times. And the first time, the young lady asked me what I wanted to talk about, and the topic of discussion was who they wanted to try to run as the next presidential candidate, and they were throwing around names like Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama, and I thought, let me call in with what I thought was a good prediction, and I said Joe Manchin, and the girl that answered the phone was like, why do you think Joe Manchin? And I said, well, I think he's kind of maybe not so obvious, but to me, an obvious choice. And she kind of dismissed me. And before I knew it, I was cut off. And I thought, what the heck? So I thought maybe it was an accident. I called back again. It took me 20 calls to try to get back. And I did get through again. And I got the same young lady. And I said, hey, I called earlier. And, I gave her my name. And I said, I was cut off. I called earlier about Joe Manchin. And she says, oh, yeah. And she cut me off again. And I was like, what the heck? So anyway, I didn't call back. So I came home and I thought, you know what? I'm going to do a video about this. And so I want to tell you exactly, why I think Joe Manchin would be a logical choice. Now, granted, he may not be logical today or tomorrow, but, people, whether it's for political office or what have you, but for, at some point, the Democrats, in my mind, Joe Biden, and I think everybody's coming to this conclusion that he is diminished. Whether the diehards don't believe this or not, his capacity is definitely diminished. And as he gets closer to 2024, we don't know what state his mind is going to be in. So the Democrats, the hierarchy of that party, is going to come to realize that either they have to pick somebody that they know is going to have a good shot at winning the next election. So they're going to they want to pick somebody, that they want to control, right? The Democrats want to have control of the people, right? That's what their focus is right now. We want to control, or we want to have the Democrats control the country. But at some point, you got to say to yourself, it's like you're playing chess, right? At all costs, you want to win the game. So in my mind, at some point, you got to bring the queen out of the back row to win the game at all costs, right? And I think when you come to that point in the game or that point in the election, Joe Manchin at some point is going to be the logical choice. To me, he is the only person in the Democratic side of the fence that could win the election for them. Now, they may not realize it now, but at the 11th hour, they may come to that conclusion. And really, he is really the person, I think, that will get votes on both sides of the fence. He is a moderate, and he may not accept their terms, and in fact, I know he won't. He will not be bought, he will not be sold, and he's going to do the right thing for the people of this country. I'm a conservative, and I'll tell you right now, he would probably get my vote unless the Republicans can bring a really good candidate. Now, Trump, to me, is a good candidate, but I think Manchin's a good candidate too. I'd be hard pressed to, balance those two. And I've been a Trump supporter from day one. But Manchin, great guy. I mean, I live in West Virginia now. New York City, born and bred, raised there, grew up there. And, but I've been living in West Virginia. And this guy, Manchin, top shelf guy. Always been doing right for the people of West Virginia. And you've seen lately in the news, this guy cannot be pushed around. I mean, he's going to do right by the people. So that's my prediction. I think it's going to come down to the wire. I think the Democrats are going to fold. They're going to wind up picking Manchin as their front runner when it comes down to the point. Now, they could pick somebody else between now and, when it gets down to the nitty gritty. But in this point in time, that's what I think is their choice. They don't know that yet, but that's what I think. Anyway, let me hear your comments and please share. And don't forget to subscribe. This is the Zoo Man. Let me hear from you. Have a great day.